Hello everyone, and in this video, which is honestly pretty late, I ain't gonna lie, honestly I was forgetting to record something. I knew I was forgetting something, so I'm just gonna get this out the way. So, um, with all the recent shit with just like Alex Pereira and just like his legacy more as a fighter, he basically has became like the most valuable like asset to UFC. So, with that, I'm basically just like making this kind of UFC's using this tier list of just like people who have a shot or like possible ranges of people who could have a 5 Xperia and basically kind of like where do they fall in the rankings. I'm just kind of doing this tier list because there's honestly tiers I kind of like, and I thought it was more of an interesting discussion because it's like with the whole like semi recent thing with Khalil Roundtree and then like him talking about after 305, him possibly going down the middleweight again, or him going to heavyweight with Tom Aspinall. I think this would be more of a fun tier list to kind of go through, looking at like the top contenders in 3 different weight classes. And overall, just kind of saying like who would beat Asbara. When we're going through this, we're basically considering like if they were to move up or move down, and basically combine the averages of both. However, like a heavyweight, well, mainly okay. We don't need this. Get out of here, please. Don't need this. Get out. It's mainly like Tom and Cyril Gahn that I don't see. However, like a John Jones is like he could still move down to like 205 if he wanted to, if he felt like cutting. However, I highly doubt it, but like it's more a possibility. So we'll consider that too. And with that getting out the way, basically, yeah, no, we have like the obvious ones right here, and we'll get through it. Um, Magomed Ankalaev is honestly like the only person in light heavyweight who has a genuine, real shot of like beating him. Because the fact is just like the grappling isn't really there. However, everyone has like this habit just because of just the type of fighter Esper is, where like he's mainly a kickboxer who kind of stepped in and just like mauled through the entire like UFC, basically speed ran a Hall of Fame career. Everyone's just thinking like, oh, like they just think like, oh, just grapple with him. However, everyone just wants to stand and bang with him. Magomed, which also said like, oh, hey, I want to stand and bang with him. We all know for a fact what's gonna happen. He's basically just gonna after like one like kick, one leg kick. He's just gonna go to grappling. And I just think just because of off of just like pure grappling, I think he could probably take down Alex Pereira. And like I don't know about submit him, however, it's like I just think he could probably beat him. So with that, I'll put him in bad chance overall. Next up is Dricus Duplessis. Really depends. If he Alex Pereira drops out to the middleweight, he will lose. Like Dricus is a monster at 185. You saw what he did to Adesanya. You saw what he did to Strickland. You saw what he did to Robert Whitaker. So it's like with those just considering, like yeah, no, like Dricus is just too like aggressive and just like the grapple. I think he would just be able to submit Alex or at least knock him, or at worst knock him out if Alex would drop down. However, if Dricus is moving up to 205, I think I think Alex will basically just like either like obliterate him or just like it'll be like a very decisive decision. So because of that, I'm taking the average of the two and put him in like a decent chance. Again, it really just depends on like where the weight of this fight kind of goes, and that kind of determines like how it is. Next up is the Rakic. Rakic, you saw what he did to Yuri, and like Alex basically knocked out Yuri twice. So just because of that, like Rakic is probably gonna be a win. He does have really good like point finding ability. However, against a guy like Alex Pereira, like once he finds his opening, he's just gonna absolutely just go and just like swamp him. So I just don't see that happening. John Jones. John Jones is like one of the few people that I honestly have a very strong belief could beat Alex Pereira if Alex moves up to heavyweight. If Alex moves up to heavyweight, I think John Jones has a very strong chance of just beating the crap out of him. And I don't even see that being like kind of a hot take. However, if he were to be like dropped down to light heavyweight, I think Alex has a better shot. However, just because of just like the more likelihood of like if you're a heavyweight, I think John Jones is just gonna beat him. And next up is a guy who will do it even worse, and Tom Aspinall. Yeah, no, like Tom Aspinall is honestly just go. Why is my screen white? Is this Dana White trying to silence me? Is this seriously Dana White trying to silence me? Yeah, no. We're okay. Thank God. We're back. We're back. I think Dana White heard me talking about John Jones and he tried to silence me. Oh dear God. um. Yeah, but Tom Aspinall, I just think out of anyone on this list, he will probably absolutely like dog walk him if this is a heavyweight because it will only be a heavyweight. Like it generally, like he will generally dog walk him. Next up is Adesanya, and Adesanya would probably go in like a decent chance. Because here's the thing, Osprey beat him 3 out of 4 times. However, again, it's the same against Drickus. It depends on the weight class. If Izzy goes up to 205, Alex is knocking him the fuck out. However, if Israel Adesanya were to, let's say, be at 185 and Alex were to like drop down to him, I think he has a decent shot at beating him. However, just like again, just because of, like the weight class situation of like two drastically different outcomes span in the weight class, I'm just gonna take the average of two and just put him in like middle. Next up is Jamal Hill. Wait, did I put the tier list in like the wrong way? Well, no, wait, hold on. Like Alex will lose. Okay, no, I don't need this. Okay, good. Wait, did I put it? No, wait. Alex beats him. Kind of beats him. Could go 50-50. Most likely to has a good chance of losing and then lose. Okay, yeah, no, I'm good. So next up is Jamal Hill. Jamal Hill really has power. However, it's like we kind of saw with like his fight against Alex Pereira, how like he has like the weaknesses and that sort of stuff. However, I would like to say like in defense of Jamal Hill, he was coming off like a very bad like was it Achilles injury? Like he was recovering from that, and he was supposed to fight on 301. However, they bumped it up to 300, so he was basically rushed. So we're basically dealing with like a semi-compromised Jamal Hill. I think a fully healthy Jamal Hill would probably make it a closer fight than what it was. That's just my opinion. However, I still think Alex Pereira would beat him like most of the time. Next up is Jan Blachowicz. The fact that he's the only champion to not get knocked out by him. Yeah, no, he honestly goes in like a bad chance. However, Jan's old, so it's like I'm gonna put him up like slightly above Ankalaev. However, it's just kind of like, dude, like how the hell did Jan not get knocked out by Pereira? That was just honestly some impressive shit. Really, really impressive. Next up is Cyril Gahn. Again, if Alex moves up to heavyweight, I think they would rather. They're gonna give him the championship over doubt, but an underrated one would probably be Cyril Gahn. In my opinion, a guy like Gahn, honestly, I say he has a decent chance. God has a chance because it's like the match is gonna be standing up. It's gonna be like major sandbang. However, the difference is like they're both athletic men. They're both very athletic, so it's gonna be a lot of strikes. However, like Gon has like the power for heavyweight, has like good amount of power for heavyweight. We haven't seen, Alex Pereira has like dominant power. However, it's like we're gonna have to see like how it would work just because it's just a pure size difference. Because Gon's a natural heavyweight, Alex Pereira will be moving up. So like there's like a huge difference between that. So we just have to wait and see. However, I will put him like closer to like close fight and then win. Mainly just because of the fact that I just think like a guy like Gon would basically just be able to mainly lose because we saw what happened to him against John Jones. We saw what happened to him against Francis Ngannou and just a bunch of other fights like that. That's also my opinion. Next up is Yuri Prohaska, which I will put in close fight. I think a I think like if Yuri didn't decide to be like an absolute Chad and just be like, Oh, hey, I'm just gonna go into this like short notice fight with Alex Pereira. I think he would have still lost, but I don't think it would have been as horrific of a KO as it ended up being. So yeah, I honestly think that would be fair because like you saw during the fight, there was some difference between there. Yeah, he got absolutely like caked and basically got like dropped near the end of the first round. But I think that was more just like him just being just kind of caught slipping, and then Osprey just set up the perfect just leg kick and just obliterate him. Which, again, I don't think that's like much of Yuri's fault because Yuri basically was coming off a loss for notices. And I just don't think it would be that's for kind of like penalize him for it. I think if Yuri actually had like a full cam and actually was like properly prepared, I think he would give a decent fight to Alex. However, I still think he would lose. And last but not least, Khalil Roundtree. Khalil Roundtree is basically just a shorter Alex Pereira in terms of like the mentality and just like the aggression when he knows that he is gonna win the fight.